CDL Practice Test, California, General Knowledge, Part 14. Question number 331. What should you do if you get stuck on the railroad tracks? A. Scream for help. B. Stay in your vehicle. C. Get out of your vehicle and away from the tracks. The correct answer is here, C. Get out of your vehicle and away from the tracks. Explanation. If your vehicle gets stuck on a railroad track, get everyone including yourself out of your vehicle. Have everyone walk at about a 45-degree angle to the tracks in the direction from which you expect a train to approach. That way, if your vehicle is hit, none of you will be struck by flying debris. Once you've reached a safe location, call 911 or the telephone number on the railroad crossing sign. Question number 332. Why is it important to downshift when entering a curve? A. Downshifting will help you maintain slower, stable speeds when you are out of the curve. B. Downshifting helps to keep you at a constant speed. C. Downshifting will ensure you do not wear your brakes out trying to maneuver the curve. D. To help retain vehicle power and maintain vehicle control. The correct answer is here, D. To help retain vehicle power and maintain vehicle control. Explanation. It is important to downshift when entering a curve so you remain stable and retain some power while driving. It also aids you in speeding up when you are safely out of the curve. Question number 333. Signs of distracted drivers include A. Vehicles constantly traveling above the speed limit. B. Vehicles exiting the roadway. C. Drivers listening to overly loud music. D. Drivers having conversations with passengers. The correct answer is here, D. Drivers having conversations with passengers. Explanation. Watch for vehicles that may drift over the lane divider lines or within their own lane. Vehicles traveling at inconsistent speeds. Drivers who are preoccupied with maps, food, cigarettes, cell phones, or other objects. Drivers who appear to be involved in conversations with their passengers. Question number 334. Stab braking. A. Involves steady pressure on the brake pedal without locking the wheels. B. Should never be used. C. Involves releasing the brakes only after the wheels lock up. The correct answer is here, C. Involves releasing the brakes only after the wheels lock up. Explanation. In the stab braking method, you fully apply the brakes until the wheels lock. Then you release the brakes, reapply them as soon as the wheels start to roll again. Repeat. Open bracket. Note, since this method involves deliberately locking the wheels, don't use it on a vehicle with anti-lock brakes. Use controlled braking instead. Question number 335. Loads that are over length, over width, or overweight may require A. Driving limited to certain times. B. Flashing lights. C. Both. The answers are correct. The correct answer is here, C. Both. The answers are correct. Explanation. Over length, over width, or overweight loads require special transit permits. Such loads may also require pilot vehicles, a police escort, or special equipment such as flags, flashing lights, or wide load signs. Driving is usually limited to certain times. Each state may specify its own requirements and procedures to follow. To learn about your state's requirements or to apply for a transit permit, contact your state's Department of Transportation. Question number 336. What is a pull-up? A. Pulling forward while backing a trailer to reposition it. B. A maneuver performed by a tow truck to pick up an overturned truck. C. When pulling off the shoulder, pulling up until the trailer is straight. The correct answer is here. A. Pulling forward while backing a trailer to reposition it. Explanation. When backing a vehicle, especially a tractor-trailer, you may need to pull forward to straighten the vehicle or reposition it for a better angle. This corrective maneuver is called a pull-up. Note, however, that you should be able to back your vehicle successfully without too many such corrections. During your CDL skills test, your examiner may penalize you for too many pull-ups. Question number 337. Blocking the cargo to keep it from shifting must be done. A. Only at the front of a piece of cargo. B. At the cargo deck. C. At the front, back, and or sides of a piece of cargo. The correct answer is here. C. At the front, back, and or sides of a piece of cargo. Explanation. Blocking and bracing can prevent cargo from shifting. Use blocking and bracing to keep cargo from shifting in whichever directions it might move. Blocking fits snugly against cargo. Bracing runs from the upper part of the cargo to the floor or walls of the cargo compartment. Question number 338. A driver's logbook. A. May be brought up to date once a week. B. May be written in pencil. C. Must be shown immediately when an officer requests it. The correct answer is here. C. Must be shown immediately when an officer requests it. Explanation. If you're transporting hazardous materials, a law enforcement officer may stop you to inspect your vehicle. The officer may check your logbook, or electronic logging device, shipping papers, vehicle placards, and the hazmat endorsement on your CDL. If your logbook is not up to date, you may be cited and placed out of service for some specified amount of time. Question number 339. Convex curved mirrors. A. Show a wider area than flat mirrors. B. Make objects appear closer than they really are. C. Make objects appear larger than they really are. The correct answer is here. A. Show a wider area than flat mirrors. Explanation. A convex mirror has a wider field of view than a flat mirror. However, objects viewed in a convex mirror look smaller and farther away than they really are. Bear this in mind when you're trying to judge the distance of an object that you're viewing in a convex mirror. Question number 340. Which of these is a sign of tire failure? A. Steering that feels heavy. B. A loud bang vibration. C. All answers are correct. The correct answer is here. C. All answers are correct. Explanation. When driving, a loud bang, vibrations, or heavy steering can indicate that a tire has failed. Question number 341. Which of these will happen if a tire blows out at highway speeds? A. A loud hissing sound. B. A vibrating feeling. C. A rapid drop in speed to below 20 miles per hour. The correct answer is B. A vibrating feeling. Explanation. The classic sign of a tire blowout is a loud bang sound. However, if you're driving a long vehicle and a rear tire blows out, you may not hear the sound. In this situation, a thumping or heavy vibration may be the first sign you get that a rear tire has failed. Question number 342. You have left the road in an emergency condition. It is impossible for you to come to a stop prior to returning to the road. Which of the following is the best action to take? A. Make sure the road is clear, and continue to return to the road. B. Stop and turn your vehicle around before entering the road. C. Reduce your speed to 20 miles per hour or less before returning to the road. The correct answer is C. Reduce your speed to 20 miles per hour or less before returning to the road. Explanation. If possible, avoid using the brakes until your speed has dropped to about 20 miles per hour, and gently return to the road. Question number 343. If you need to leave the road in a traffic emergency, you should A. Tap repeatedly on the brakes. B. Try to get all the wheels off the pavement. C. Avoid braking until your speed has decreased to about 20 miles per hour. The correct answer is C. Avoid braking until your speed has decreased to about 20 miles per hour. Explanation. If you've moved onto a shoulder that may have a loose surface, let your vehicle slow down to about 20 miles per hour before you brake. Braking at a higher speed on a loose surface can cause a skid. Question number 345. You should have a minimum of tread on your steering tires. A. 2-stroke 32-inch. B. 1-stroke 4-inch. C. 4-stroke 32-inch. The correct answer is C. 4-stroke 32-inch. Explanation. Steering axle tires must have a tread depth of at least 4-stroke 32-inch. All other tires must have a tread depth of at least 2-stroke 32-inch. Question number 346. Which of these statements is true about drugs? A. A driver can use any prescription drug while driving. B. Certain prescription drugs are allowed to reduce fatigue. C. The use of alcohol or drugs can lead to a collision and/or an arrest. The correct answer is C. The use of alcohol or drugs can lead to a collision and/or an arrest. Explanation. Some prescription drugs can impair your driving abilities. Some drugs can make you drowsy or impair your coordination. Stimulants can impair your concentration and affect your vision. And once the stimulant wears off, you may crash, feel even more drowsy and tired than you did before. Take a prescription drug only if your doctor assures you that the drug won't impair your driving abilities. Question number 347. What does the acronym GVW stand for? A. General Vehicle Worker. B. General Vehicle Weight. C. Gross Vehicle Waste. D. Gross Vehicle Weight. The correct answer is here. D. Gross Vehicle Weight. Explanation. Gross Vehicle Weight, GVW, is the actual weight of a vehicle, straight truck, including its load. Gross Vehicle Weight Rating, GVWR, is the manufacturer's maximum weight rating, straight truck, including its load. Gross Combination Weight, GCW, is the same as GVW, except it is for a combination vehicle, with a trailer. Gross Combination Weight Rating, GCWR, is the same as GVWR, except it is for a combination vehicle, with a trailer. Question number 348. When looking ahead of your vehicle while you are driving, you should look A. to the right side of the road, B. as far as your peripheral vision can see, C. back and forth, near and far. The correct answer is here, C. back and forth, near and far. Explanation. When driving your vehicle, look ahead a full 12-15 seconds. Be aware of what is happening all around your vehicle, both farther from it and closer to it. Keep shifting your attention back and forth, near and far, left and right, so that you can constantly scan all these areas. Question number 349. What would you use to put out a gasoline fire? A. water. B. nothing. C. dirt. The correct answer is here, C. dirt. Explanation. Gasoline fires may be extinguished by smothering with wet rags, woolen cloth, sand, earth or ashes. Question number 351. If you must stop your vehicle beyond a curve that hides your vehicle from other drivers within 500 feet, place your warning devices A. 10 feet behind and up to 100 feet behind your vehicle. B. 100 feet in front of, 10 feet behind, and 100 feet behind your vehicle. C. 10 feet behind and up to 500 feet behind your vehicle. The correct answer is here, C. 10 feet behind and up to 500 feet behind your vehicle. Explanation. This is required by Federal Regulation 49 CFR 392.22. This regulation also specifies where to place warning devices on other types of roadways such as undivided two-way roads and hills. Question number 352. Name two situations in which the legal maximum weight may not be safe to haul. A. At night, in heavy traffic. B. Through tunnels, over bridges. C. During bad weather, in mountains. The correct answer is here, C. During bad weather, in mountains. Explanation. A heavily loaded vehicle will have a longer stopping distance, and its speed will be harder to control on downgrades. Therefore, when you must travel in bad weather or in the mountains, consider keeping the load significantly below the maximum legal weight limit. Question number 353. Which of the following should you not do while driving at night? A. Avoid using your high beams, just in case. B. Avoid glare from the headlights of oncoming vehicles. C. Avoid blinding other drivers. D. All of the answers. The correct answers here. A. Avoid using your high beams, just in case. Explanation. Use your high beams to see farther, as long as you are not within 500 feet of an approaching vehicle. Question number 354. If the vehicle you are driving has hydraulic brakes, how do you test for leaks? A. Pump the brake pedal 5 times fast and quickly let go. B. Look under the cab for signs of brake fluid. C. Pump the brakes twice and hold down for a minimum of 10 seconds. D. Pump the brake pedal 3 times, then firmly push the pedal for 5 seconds. The correct answers here. D. Pump the brake pedal 3 times, then firmly push the pedal for 5 seconds. Explanation. If pumping the brakes and holding the pedal for 5 seconds causes the pedal to move, there may be a hydraulic brake leak that needs to be addressed before driving the vehicle.